Item number SCP-2678. Object Class KETER. Special Containment Procedures. Mobile Task Force Alpha 42 Highway Patrol are tasked with tracking SCP-2678-1 manifestations on major southeastern highways. This includes sightings of SCP-2678-1 instances by Foundation personnel, sightings of SCP-2678-1 instances by civilians, and any and all abnormal civilian reports of events matching descriptions of SCP-2678 activity. Mobile Task Force Lambda 12 Kingshamers are tasked with tracking, isolating, documenting, and if possible, containing SCP-2678 manifestations as they are discovered. In the event of an SCP-2678-1 manifestation, Mobile Task Forces Alpha 42 and Lambda 12 are to secure the local vicinity of activity, ascertain the location of the primary SCP-2678 anomaly, and to restrict access to the location. Individuals drawn to SCP-2678 instances, if successfully prevented from entering SCP-2678, are to be administered a Class B amnestic and monitored until anomalous symptoms subside. Description: SCP-2678 refers to a phenomenon primarily manifesting in the southeastern United States, typically within the Gulf and South Atlantic regions. Signs of the phenomenon manifesting have, in all cases to date, included the following events. Highway billboards will suddenly and without warning change the image, being displayed to one of several advertisements for locations or experiences within the region that do not exist. These billboards often use terminology suggesting a vacation destination or scenic local and are typically found to be Class 4 visual cognitohazards with an unknown mimetic effect on observers. Individuals encountering instances of these billboards, classified as SCP-2678-A, will be compelled to pull their vehicle to the side of the road and exit it, and begin traversing to the manifestation of SCP-2678. Note: this phenomenon affects drivers more often than passengers, though it has been known to affect every individual within the vehicle. Some individuals, specifically those with very high mimetic tolerances, are unaffected. The entrance to a local structure, usually one that is dilapidated or otherwise derelict and in disrepair, will become an access point for a spatial distortion. Individuals entering through this access point will then be within an SCP-2678 instance itself. SCP-2678 manifests as the interior of a massive, ruined cathedral, the remaining walls and ceiling of which are covered in unknown religious iconography. The interior of SCP-2678 appears to be an entirely different physical location than its respective access points. GPS tracking used with drone and D-Class personnel testing yields out-of-range results or error messages immediately following passage through an access point into SCP-2678. For this reason, it is unknown if SCP-2678 is a collective of multiple instances or only a single instance of the cathedral. There are no apparent exits within the cathedral, aside from the spatial anomaly. It is likely physically possible to exit SCP-2678 through the spatial distortion after entering, but due to psychological and mimetic effects, individuals do not choose to exit. What area is visible beyond the collapsed walls of the cathedral is shrouded in thick fog and is illuminated red due to an unknown light source. The moist air within SCP-2678 is extremely corrosive. pH readings of fog condensation have been as low as 1.9 in drone exploration testing, and will quickly affect most materials found on Earth, including flesh and bone. In the center of the cathedral within SCP-2678 is a large vertical pit measuring nearly 30 meters in diameter. Within the pit, roughly 8 meters below the floor of the cathedral, is a massive biological entity currently classified as SCP-2678-2. Of which only the primary consumption orifice is visible. Individuals entering SCP-2678 are inevitably drawn by anomalous means to the precipice of the pit and into the orifice of the SCP-2678-2 entity, where they are then swallowed whole. A full description of the SCP-2678-2 entity is difficult to obtain, due in part to its location beneath the cathedral within SCP-2678, and in part to the powerful cognitohazardous effects it has on human beings within the anomaly. Video recovered from remote drones has captured little outside of the large orifice of the entity, which is dissimilar to any other organism known to exist. For all intents and purposes, SCP-2678-2 appears to be a single long, constricting tube of flesh, coated in flagellum-like structures, designed to move consumed materials farther into the entity and toward an undefined location or organ. Beyond the primary orifice of SCP-2678-2, little is known about the status of individuals allowed to remain within SCP-2678. Information collected by test subjects shows that individuals experience severe hallucinations and changes in behavior, likely due to the interaction between their own bodies and the foreign biology of the SCP-2678-2 entity. Testing has shown that affected persons experience the following symptoms upon entering SCP-2678 and later SCP-2678-2. Minor increased lethargy, minor increased sensitivity to light, minor decreased alertness to surroundings, minor decreased auditory and visual perceptiveness, major increased tactile perceptiveness, major increased libido, and major increased body temperature. Further research into the biological and psychological effects of direct exposure to SCP-2678-2 is ongoing. History: between 1972 and 1975, 23 individuals between the ages of 18 and 63 disappeared in Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. These disappearances were unique in that the vehicles the individuals had been driving at the time of their disappearance were left by the side of the road, as if they had been parked before being abandoned completely. Police investigators within these states were unable to locate the missing individuals or any information pertaining to their whereabouts, and the cases were closed. In 1993, after several more disappearances in the previous decade, a report surfaced of an individual who had been a passenger in a car driven by an affected person. The individual stated that the driver had made a comment about a strange billboard shortly before pulling the car to the side of the road, disembarking and then disappearing into the tree line by the highway. The passenger then followed the individual to an abandoned, overgrown building, but was unable to locate the affected person after they had passed through the threshold of the door. Over the next several months, Foundation personnel maintained regular patrols of major southeastern highways in an attempt to discover the source of the anomalous activity. During one such patrol, personnel discovered a car parked by the side of the road and a hysterical woman attempting to flag them down. The woman claimed her husband had stopped suddenly and walked off a ravine, disappearing into the underbrush below. Personnel attempted to follow the affected individual, but were attacked before they could apprehend him. The attacker was a 34-year-old adult woman wielding a knife. The personnel in question were able to fend off the attacker, but not before the affected man had disappeared into the side door of a dilapidated electric substation. The attacker, identified as Maria Jane Baker, was apprehended and moved to Site 42 for questioning. Addendum 2678.1 Interview. Note: the following interview took place between Foundation interrogator Corporal Richard Thornton and the apprehended attacker Maria Baker.
Good afternoon, Miss Baker. My name is Richard Thornton, and I'm the lead of the team investigating you currently, and we'll be conducting this interview. Do you know why you're being held here?
Your men were trying to stop that man from becoming whole. I saved his life.
Becoming whole?
I am only one of many who seek to guide others into divine community. The whole. This man was guided to us by one of the beacons. His soul yearning to be stripped from this misery we suffer.
Miss Baker, according to our investigators, you've been known to associate with several radical groups identifying as the to you?
To be consumed, to be one with the collective, it is ecstasy.
Can you elaborate on that?
On what is there to elaborate? Do you know what ecstasy is? Do you know what it's like to feel release? To feel true release? Free from the bindings of not only our painstaking daily lives, but our mortal forms? We are meant to be one. We are meant to feel and to exist as a collective. Only when all emotion, all feeling, all pleasure and pain alike is concentrated into one mass, one existence, can we truly experience solace. We, you and I, here at this table, we are fragments of a mosaic that could be so much more.
I see. And it is your opinion that this mosaic, this collective, can be completed by multiple people jumping into this hole?
The whole is more than just a whole, Corporal. It is the end of our suffering, and it is the greatest pleasure you will ever feel.
That I will
because
ever.
everyone will be consumed. Everyone will become one. Until the mosaic is complete, the puzzle has finished. And you and everyone in this building and in the world outside has known ecstasy and release. Until it is done.
I see. If you have nothing additional to add, this interview is concluded.
Until we meet again, Corporal.
Addendum 2678.2 D-Class Testing Log. Following activity are increasing reports of civilian casualties likely linked to SCP-2678. Site-42 Oversight approved D-Class testing for SCP-2678-2, overseen by Site-42 personnel. D38412 was equipped with a Class 6 hazardous exposure suit, as well as instrumentation to test certain properties of SCP-2678-2, and navigational communication equipment. D38412, can you hear me?
Yes,
Alright, can you describe your surroundings?
there's a giant, looks like a church here. Stained glass windows on either side of me. The floor is red stone. There are these pillars. The ceiling's bound to be, 50 feet up? Maybe more? It's really big.
Alright, can you hear anything?
This helmet's blocking some stuff out, but let me listen. It's quiet, but there's this low hum. Well, it's not really a hum, it's like a groaning. This low groaning sound. Machinery? I can't be sure. Do you pick it up on the radio?
Negative, we do not.
It's definitely there. Do you want me to keep walking? I feel like I should keep walking.
Affirmative. Keep walking. Continue describing your surroundings.
Everything is in this red light, reddish orange. Like there's red fog in the way of where I'm going, about 20 feet or several meters out. Yeah, this fog's not up above me. The ceiling's just stained glass, but I can't see out past it. The glass is too opaque. Yeah, low fog in between the pillars and whatnot. The landscape outside, it's hard to see, but it looks broken. Things jutting up all over the place, crumbled buildings, a lot of red fog.
What else do you see?
So, bound to be over 120 in here.
We had some distortion there. Can you repeat that?
What happens if I take this suit off?
That is not advised. Do not remove your suit. Describe what you see.
Yes, that's, and there's this dip.
A dip on the floor? Can you please describe it further?
Supposed morning, I
Right. You estimated the ambient temperature at 120 degrees Fahrenheit, correct? Acknowledged. Just confirming. Please describe the indentation on the floor. Is it composed of stone? How deep do you estimate it? Is the floor broken? Please make an effort to speak coherently and describe your surroundings objectively. Can you do that, D38412? Yes, go on. D38412, can you hear me clearly? Please describe your surroundings again. Where are you? Did you fall? Negative. Do not remove that suit. I repeat, do not remove that suit. If you do that, you will suffocate immediately. Do not interfere with your suit or your rebreather. Do you understand? I understand. Continue. Excuse me? Can you be a little clearer? Can you still hear me? Over? Are you there? Can you hear me? Over? D38412. Do you read me? Over. Please describe as best you can the sensation you're experiencing, as well as your surroundings. Noted, but we still have radio interference. Can you affirm the status of your suit for later research? Negative, do not end this transmission. Remain in contact until SCP-2678-2 compromises the radio equipment. Do you copy? Note: after the events transcribed in Addendum 2, Foundation officials studying the logs contacted members of Mobile Task Force Lambda 12, a task force specifically designed to monitor sexuality-based anomalous activity. After discussion with Foundation psychologists, intervention by Mobile Task Force Lambda 12 was authorized, and all further investigative action into activities within SCP-2678, as well as any SCP-2678-2 testing, is to be handled by this team. Addendum 2678.3 Unmanned Exploration Log 1B. Following inconclusive D-Class testing, Mobile Task Force Lambda 12 personnel spent 2 weeks driving on Interstate 74 and 95 in North Carolina before an SCP-26781 instance was spotted on Highway 74/76 near. The driver, Agent Rogers, was allowed to pull over the vehicle, but was restrained to the driver's seat in order to prevent him from reacting to SCP-2678-1's influence and leaving the vehicle. He instead piloted an unmanned drone through the woods by the side of the highway until the drone passed through a threshold within an abandoned building and into an SCP-2678 instance. Drone approaches nearby wooded area. No anomalous activity detected. When asked to describe motivations for this course, Agent Rogers is unable to provide a suitable explanation. Drone hesitates momentarily, adjusting course slightly. Agent Rogers is noted to begin to perspire. Dilapidated structure is seen in background. Agent Rogers intakes breath sharply, begins to move drone towards the structure. Agent does not respond to questioning during this period. Drone enters threshold and is within SCP-2678. Drone is transmitting audio and visual information real-time to the task force's nearby Mobile Reconnaissance Center. Video feed shows drone descending into SCP-2678-2's aperture. Drone descends fully into the orifice of SCP-2678-2. Audio feed shows low background noise in the 50 to 55 Hz range. Video feed shows that SCP-2678-2's interior is composed of a flesh-like substance, reddish in color, which is coated with a sheer transparent liquid. The flesh-like material can be seen slowly pulsating. Drone descends fully into SCP-2678-2's orifice. Rear view camera shows that the outer orifice does not constrict around the drone, and light from the exterior can be seen illuminating the interior of SCP-2678-2. The drone has proceeded roughly an additional 6 meters down SCP-2678-2's length. Movement is restricted by the small diameter of SCP-2678-2's interior. Left and right side cameras are functioning, but do not transmit a clear picture due to the lack of space between the lenses and the walls of SCP-2678-2. Front-facing camera displays the same flesh-like material on all sides. Front-facing camera displays a change in material. Flesh-like substance is still present, but is overlaid with a matted meshwork of small tendrils, all of which are seen to be individually writhing. What appears to be blood and musculous viscera is caked into some sections of the growths and is restricting their movement. Drone's attached pH meter reads a severely acidic 2.4, as opposed to the near-neutral 6.7 of SCP-2678-2's initial entrance. Front-facing camera shows that the drone has collided with a white object, appearing in later analysis of transmissions to be composed of bone, which is jutting from the right side of the SCP-2678-2 interior. In the area surrounding the visible base of the bone, it is seen that the flesh-like material is leaking a greenish substance, which is dripping in a direction that would be considered upward relative to the drone's position, thus indicating that SCP-2678-2's length has at some point doubled back on itself in the vertical direction. Drone locomotive capabilities fail. It is noted that, while the drone appears to continue to move, it is only doing so as a result of the internal anatomy of the SCP-2678 entity. Agent Rogers begins hyperventilating. The agent is moved away from the mobile reconnaissance vehicle for a medical evaluation. Observation of the drone continues. Drone stops suddenly. A loud groaning sound is heard, and then the drone begins to move very quickly. Exterior illumination devices fail. Rear-facing camera fails. Front-facing camera becomes obscured and then fails. Drone reports significant internal structural damage, likely due to corrosive environment. Audio input registers high-pitched vocalizations, ranging from 180 to 200 Hz, overlaid with unintelligible deeper vocalizations, ranging from 70 to 110 Hz. Later analysis of vocalizations by Foundation audio technicians, coupled with digital enhancements of recordings, indicates the audio in question contains anywhere from 100 to 1,300 unique human voices. The exact nature of the vocalizations is difficult to ascertain, though staff audiologists hypothesized in later analysis that the voices seem to be singing. Front-facing camera briefly activates. Drone is hanging above an open space, dimly illuminated by an unknown source. Below, roughly 7 meters, is a large number of writhing figures. Features cannot be made out. A thick, white, brackish fluid covers the mass. Audio input registers same high-pitched vocalizations as before, only considerably louder and growing in volume. For a brief moment, the vocalizations are drowned out by another loud groaning sound. Something below the mass opens, and the figures fall away. The vocalizations decrease in volume, until they disappear entirely. There is a rushing sound behind the drone, which is struck by something and falls. Front-facing camera fails. Audio systems fail. Communication systems fail. Drone is offline. Addendum 2678.4 D-Class Testing Log 2. The following log was conducted to purposefully expose a D-Class subject to the interior of SCP-2678 in order to ascertain additional information about the religious iconography contained within. Due to the unexpected outcome of this test, the mission was not completed in full. Subject enters previously discovered SCP-2678 spatial anomaly. Foundation agents, under the direction of Agent Van Pelt, are stationed just outside the anomaly. The subject is equipped with all of the equipment supplied to the subject in the previous D-Class test. Can you hear us?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, something doesn't feel right.
Come again?
On my way here, there was this feeling like, I don't know, like I was about to feel something incredible. I could feel it in my bones, man, but that's gone. There's something else in there now.
Noted. Can you describe your surroundings?
Isn't there supposed to be a church or something in here?
There isn't? D58391, activate your front-facing camera. What are you seeing?
Oh man, something smells. It's like sewage, but worse. God.
Wipe your mouth and put on the helmet. Turn your air tanks on, you'll be alright. Take a few deep breaths.
Okay. I'm in it's a tunnel. The ceiling is really low. You can't see anything in here. The ground is really slick. There's something covering it that's kind of white. It's some liquid, I don't know. It's like a canal or something. To my left. I think this is a sewer. It looks like an old-timey sewer. It's disgusting.
Can you get closer to the canal?
Do I have to?
Yeah, you do.
Alright. Hang on. Like it's still really dark. It's sort of hard to see, but it's just really thick, slow-moving liquid. It looks like sewage. It stinks too. Even through this helmet, I can still... Crap.
Where does the canal lead?
It extends down in either direction. I can't tell how far. I hear something this way.
You can't see anything?
Not really.
Proceed down there. Keep us posted.
Fine. I don't feel well.
How do you mean?
I feel woozy. There's something wrong. Like, oh! I slipped. It's really slick and I can't see. And the smell is making me nauseous. There's something wrong about all of this.
I understand. We'll try to get you out as soon as we can. We just need to see where this tunnel leads. This is new to us too.
I get that. I mean, I know you guys are all about science and stuff, but you're not the ones down here, right? I don't blame you, really. I wouldn't want to be. I'm getting close. The smell is really strong. There's more of that stuff on the ground. Everything is so slick and slimy. There's a bend here.
What's around it?
I don't want to go around it. I've got a really bad feeling about this.
We talked about this. You need to go around that corner. We just need to see what's in there, and then you can come back.
You promise?
Of course.
Alright. Hang on. The walls are gone. I think this is a big room. I can hear something moving. The canal leads to this basin. It's swirling and
D58391?
Up above me, it's through the ceiling, like it broke through. It's a huge, fleshy, I don't know, but stuff is coming out of it. The stuff in the canal, it's like waste. I feel dizzy. I can't. Hang on.
Are you alright?
There's so much of this stuff coming out of it. It's like a waterfall of crap and fluids, and it's... Oh, I feel sick.
Hang on.
I need to come back. I can't do this. Something is messing with my head.
Noted. Do you still have traction?
I wish you hadn't said that. The floor is tilting.
Are you still upright?
No. Shoot!
D58391? Do you read me?
I'm in a river of there are body parts everywhere.
Describe your surroundings.
It's hanging on the edge. It's right beneath me, and my hand is going to slip. They're all screaming. Every single face is looking up at me, mad and all staring up. Their eyes. Please come pull me up. Come pull me up. And blood and white, thick, and hands and arms they're falling apart and trying to climb up. Please come get me. Please come for me. Please come. Please.
Additional notes. Further declass testing is pending approval.